What's happening, guys? It's your boy TC back with another video. So this video is coming out slightly later than usual, but of course we will certainly be discussing the North London derby. Terrible result in the end, of course, but a point is a point. We didn't come away with nothing from Wembley. An extremely eventful game. So what we will be discussing today in this video will be what we learnt from that particular game. So let's just talk about the starting 11 that was selected by Unai Emery. In goal, obviously, we had Bernd Leno. At right back, which was the question that I had before the game even started, was who's going to be playing at right back, and as anticipated yet again, it was Mustafi. In the middle of defence, we had Socrates, Koscielny. Left back, we saw Monreal coming into the team. The two holding midfielders were Xhaka and Guendouzi. Out wide, we saw Iwobi and Mkhitaryan. Through the middle, it was Ramsey as well as Lacazette. So let's just talk about this first point that I've made really in regards to the game in terms of what we learned yesterday. So to begin with, let's just jump straight into this. The level of refereeing was absolutely poor. It was absolutely abysmal. So I took away a couple of points really that I wanted to talk to you guys about. The first point being the free kick that led to Tottenham's penalty was actually offside. So you can see from the image on the screen when the ball was kicked in, I think about 3 to 4 Tottenham players were offside. And essentially the ref should have pulled that back. All the linesmen should have spotted that and essentially called off play. And we should have had a free kick. But of course, when that ball went in, there was a massive tangle in the box. Mustafi got a bit confused as usual. We know that he's got a severe error in him, and he ended up tumbling the player on the floor. And Tottenham were certainly awarded a penalty. So that is the first point that we wanted to talk about in regards to the level of refereeing. The second point, as much as it annoys me saying this, the Aubameyang penalty, which he ended up missing, essentially was quite soft. It wasn't that much of a penalty, to be honest, in my opinion, but we'll take anything in these kind of games, and basically ended up not scoring a goal, but we will talk about that shortly as well. The next point that I did make is that Tottenham are getting an easy ride from the FA. We did have the Sanchez stomp. Essentially, this is when their defender Davinson Sanchez was stomping on one of our players in the box. Ref was in close proximity, didn't give anything for it. I don't believe there'll be retrospective action taken upon this particular player, but I believe that Tottenham are definitely getting a soft ride. We had the Pochettino incident with Mike Dean, where the manager's swearing up to the ref, and that's still ongoing. Harry Kane had a couple of incidences last week against Chelsea. That was gone unpunished, unnoticed by the FA as well. A few offside goals have been going in, and nothing is being said by the FA. So I do believe there's a certain agenda with Tottenham. They are definitely getting a soft ride. Are they taking advantage of this soft ride? I don't believe so. In that case, there certainly should have been still in the title race, but of course that's not the case. The next point we want to talk about would be when Aubameyang stepped up to take his penalty, one of the Tottenham defenders was in the box before the ball was kicked. It might sound a little bit bitter that we wanted the penalty retaken, but in the rules of the law of football, if another opposition player is in the box, that penalty has to be retaken, and that was the case when Aubameyang stepped up to take his penalty. But again, gone unnoticed. Of course, the penalty was missed, and that player went on to actually make the clearance to the follow-up of that particular penalty. Again, might sound a little bit sour grapes, of course, but we'll absolutely try and cling on to absolutely everything in this particular situation. But we move on. Of course, we ended up drawing the game. As I said, a point is a point. Another talking point really I wanted to make in regards to what we learned from yesterday's game was the fact that Unai Emery got his tactics right. We were talking about this previously in the preview, hoping that Unai Emery would definitely get his tactics right, and I do believe on this occasion he definitely got it right. Of course, we were playing with essentially what you can class as 4 centre-backs at the back. Monreal, obviously we know naturally he's a left back. Mustafi, of course, is a centre-back, but Monreal can also play at centre-back, and that definitely showed. And as well as the fact that having Guendouzi and Xhaka in the middle definitely helped us. Ramsey coming into the team as well, replacing Mesut Ozil, definitely helps. He's got a slightly higher work rate in comparison to Mesut Ozil if you want to compare the two players. So the setup was fantastic. got his tactics right, but unfortunately we weren't able just to cross the line to obtain those 3 points. But I was happy with how the manager set up his team for this particular game. And one player that I do believe was missed really was Hector Bellerin. Tottenham were getting a lot of joy from their left side on our right side, and I do believe if Hector Bellerin was playing, that sort of threat would have been nullified. It wouldn't have been as much as we saw yesterday. They were enjoying a lot of possession on that part of the pitch, and I do believe Hector Bellerin was severely missed. And let's just talk about the goal. So the goal was absolutely fantastic. The celebration was great from Aaron Ramsey, and the way he took the ball round the keeper, and Victor Wanyama was nowhere to be seen. He beat him and left him in his dust as well. That was a brilliant goal from Ramsey. Part of me believes that it's a huge mistake from the club to letting him go. Of course, he wanted much higher wages. There's a restructure taking place, but that is what we'll be missing. That kind of energy, that kind of passion that he gives to the team. And he actually sent out a tweet yesterday saying he will miss playing in these kind of games, and we'll definitely miss him as fans, of course, but you can still see that he's giving his best for the team up until the end of the season. We know he's leaving, he knows he's leaving, but what a fantastic goal. You wouldn't have wanted to score a much better goal than that in the North London derby. So that was a fantastic goal from Aaron Ramsey. Another talking point really that we learned yesterday from yesterday's game would be the fact that Pochettino has become rattled in recent weeks. So of course the pressure of challenging for the titles certainly got to him. You can tell by the way he's behaving in press conferences, etc. You'd have thought that he'd have been cool, calm and collected as he were previously in recent months. However, recently they've lost 2 games and drawn 1, so out of a possible 9 points they've only picked up 1 point, and you can tell that the guy's becoming rattled. The comments that he made after the game made me actually decide to put this down within this particular video, and one of the comments was he played better than us. Their team, of course, Tottenham, but I don't believe that was the case. We were the much superior team, and him just saying that is essentially just trying to appease people around him, the fans alike, and I don't believe that they played better than us. He's becoming more and more disillusioned in terms of what is going on over there, in my own personal opinion. But we obviously don't wish them the best. Hopefully their season will fall apart from here, and we will certainly go on to actually challenge for that Champions League spot, or get into the Champions League at the end of the season. Another quick talking point within this video is the fact that Mustafi hasn't improved as a defender since we got him. We've continuously spoke about Mustafi. I'm getting bored of it really, and in terms of him improving as a defender, he hasn't improved. Still has that error in him, still has a mistake in him. Every time he plays, you're always thinking, what is he going to do now? And yesterday was evidence. Of course, as mentioned, that was an offside free kick, of course, but it still doesn't matter. He should have been a little bit more vigilant and known what is around him, being aware of what is around his space really, but he ended up cluttering the player. The ref pointed to the spot, and we know what happened after that. Another talking point was the fact that Lucas Torreira picked up the red card. To me, that was a red card, let's be honest. It was a horrific tackle. He could have definitely injured the player, but of course we want to see those kind of tackles in North London derbies. As much as they are terrible, you want to see those kind of tackles. I want to see those kind of tackles. So he definitely does miss the Man United game, which is a big blow to us. But you hadn't started the game anyway. It was Guendouzi and Xhaka, so most likely the boss will be going with that pair when we face Man United. We just need to navigate past the Europa League game. So moving on, we'll talk about Sokratis. Sokratis was absolutely outstanding since he returned from his injury, his recent injury spell. He's been absolutely outstanding. He got the man of the match. His defending was absolutely superb. He was absolutely brilliant. Talking about players that were outstanding as well, Bernd Leno was absolutely fantastic in my opinion. Made that double save from Eriksen as well as Sissoko, and at that particular point when he saved the ball from Eriksen, I believed that they were going to score, but Sissoko didn't manage to place the ball well really, and Lerner was quick enough to get up on his feet again to make the double save. At that point then I thought, right, okay, we've potentially got a really good keeper. He has been improving over the last few weeks. He has been putting in decent performances, but yesterday he was particularly outstanding in my own opinion, and that double save definitely cemented it for me. So of course that result leaves us sitting in 5th. Man United won their game, of course, and it means that the importance of the game against Man United will be extremely high, and essentially we need to come away with a victory over there. It's going to be a difficult game, of course, but I do believe the team can do it. I do believe Unai Emery has it in his locker in order for us to obtain that particular result. So that result leaves us in 5th place in the actual league. We could find ourselves in 6th if Chelsea win their game in hand. Of course, they still do have a game in hand, but it's going to be an interesting run-in. 9 games to go, ladies and gentlemen. We will keep you certainly updated throughout that whole period. But as usual, please do let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do make sure that you do hit that subscribe button. So once again, guys, it's your boy TC from I'm Gonna Talk TV, and I'm out.